Good evening, Monday the 2nd of February, new month, and I'm on my way home, which is nice. Been one of those typical Mondays, made considerably more difficult by a changeover of broadband provider at work. I'd had AOL for a very long time, and in December they decided to put my normal bill of £13 a month, which is quite reasonable, just broadband, no line rental or anything. They put it up to £18 without any warning or anything, and without improving the service. And it wasn't particularly great, it was only like 6 meg down. So, which I wasn't too bothered about. £13 a month, I think it's pretty reasonable. But once you go up to £18 a month, that's pretty expensive, and they're not improving the service. So I had a look around, and PlusNet seemed to be the best option for the phone line broadband. So I signed up for them. It took a while to extract the MAC code to transfer it across from AOL. I managed in the end, having to ring them up. And so yeah, it all changed on, well, it started on Friday, and funnily enough, they must have done something. It went off on Friday morning for a bit, and then when it came back, it had gone from the 6-7 meg I used to get to an incredible 16 meg, but it was still on the AOL connection. So whatever got done could have been quite simply done by AOL themselves. And they wouldn't have had to, you know, if they put the speed up, when they put the price up, I'd probably have stuck with that price. It wasn't, you know, just for the sake of it. So whatever needed doing must have been just a simple flick a few switches somewhere, and it increased. And then of course I had the changeover over the weekend, so I had to swap router and modem to the PlusNet one, which you'd think would be a simple enough task, and it would have been, except it changed subnets, which obviously at work I've got about 12 computers all hooked in, and the phone system's hooked in, and then there's various Wi-Fi printers, and I've got Wi-Fi cameras for security, and changing the subnet caused a bit of an headache really, because the phone system has to connect to one of the PCs to get all the Google data that tells us who's calling and whatever else, and that has to have a fixed IP which it looks for, and that was in the subnet we've always used, which is 192.168.0.xxx, and the PlusNet one decides it's going to do 192.168.1.xxx. So of course then I've got to change all that. And you go into the settings on the technical or something mode from PlusNet, some random modem manufacturer, and there you go, and you eventually dig around enough, you find where to change it, your subnet. You start changing it, it keeps coming up with an error saying you can't change it. Oh, why can't you want to change it? Bearing in mind this is Monday morning, you can't get anything done because one of the computers that does the main amount of printing of all orders and things out isn't connected. So that spat the dummy out, because I had a lot with fixed IPs to resolve previous networking problems, so I'd set them all manually with their own fixed IP addresses. Of course all those addresses are in a subnet that isn't inactive anymore. So I've got all that messing about, I keep changing it and it doesn't want to change it, and I get this error code and I look it up, and apparently you can only change it if there's only one computer connected to it that has manually set IP address. Then you've got to telnet into it the router so you can flush the DHCP server cache manually and save that. So it clears it all out, then it'll let you change it. So it's going to do all that and then and you've got to turn off DHCP before you start, which means to reboot the router, which takes forever. Then do all that, then turn it back on again, which reboots the router again and it takes forever again. And then finally you just about get everyone working. I kind of made a bit of a mistake. I set the gateway, the router's address, to the same as it was previously, but in north, 192.168 north, whatever. Instead of making it the same as the previous router I was using, so it means I had to change all my fixed IPs anyway, because they were looking for the wrong default gateway, which involved putting a screen to one PC that I don't have a screen on because I've logged me into it. Put the screen on the floor under a desk and drag down a screen and a keyboard and a mouse because I couldn't log into it because it wasn't connected. Just so I can change the stupid configuration settings on that. But in the end, after turning some things off and on again because they'd been connected to the previous one and stuck with the settings, it all ended up working again finally. In about 40 minutes of a Monday morning I could have done without fiddling about with stuff, but there you go. So we've got faster internet anyway, and I think the newer hardware is probably going to improve some of the network transfer between some of the legacy devices. We've got a gigabit between the main ones that before we have to connect to our account software, so all laptops itself super quick. But then everything else is just on 100 megabytes spread out. But I think we'll perhaps talk a bit better now instead of them. So all that was fun, and then I had a big iCarbons delivery, which is was nice for bowmanmaniac.co.uk. So I got the iCarbons coming in. I had quite a lot of orders over the weekend I've got to clear when I'm finished messing about with everything. So I got those, and I've got all pre-ordered items that I don't have in stock to send out, and then new stock in as well. It's running quite well, the phonemaniac.co.uk website. Seems to it's doing what it was going to do. I took over it. I'll find out at the start of May whether just how well it has done, because that'll be when I get to 1 year of running it. But on the whole, it's quite good. It's quite difficult because there's so many devices and so many colours of carbon fibre or the brushed metal, and you can't really have stock of everything. You just don't know if anyone's going to buy it or not. So I've kind of kept stock or restock where people do purchase things, but then others I just don't, and it's to order in, and people don't want to wait. They don't have to. Realistically, it's quicker still, even if I order in most occasions, than service mail post from America. So unless you want to pay a massive premium for an express shipping from America for something, then you're going to wait maybe 3 to 4 weeks for the service mail from America. So I normally get stuff in between 10 and 15 days, just depending on how many pre-orders I have to bulk it all up. I've got fairly well developed amount of stock now. It's just difficult. You've got to run down older devices, and then for some reason you get a run on them out of nowhere. It's quite a difficult thing to SEO though, because I don't really know what people look for, other than the obvious iCarbons. It's this carbon fibre sticker for your phones or your laptops or whatever, but it's not a case really. I mean, it's kind of providing protection as well as a unique colour, but I mean, what will people search for? You can't really put it down as a case, because it's not a case, it's a wrap in a fashion. It's I don't know, I find it quite difficult to work the SEO bits out, but it seems to be still appearing fine. To keep on top of promoting it, and of course as iCarbon bring out stuff for new devices, like last week I had to do the Nexus 6 that came out, and then of course that's 12 new products to create for a new category. But yeah, as long as you keep up with it and keep a little bit of the most popular stuff. Black's generally the thing to keep in. Black seems to be the most popular still, and maybe red and white when you go into the colours. Brushed aluminium, kind of popular as well. Brushed aluminium goes quite well on I think people buy it on the MacBooks and MacBook Air and things. It strikes me as slightly odd, because if you want to change the look of your device, it's already aluminium, so you're just making it more aluminium than it was. I mean, alright, then you've got scratch protection. If you're going to resell it, then that's a big bonus. It's not really going to do drop protection though, so if you really, you want to really protect it before selling it, you probably want some sort of hard shell plastic case or something on it. It tends to look a bit nasty, personally. So yeah, I mean, I personally think the black looks the best, black carbon fibre on the MacBooks. Maybe you see pictures of people's of those. Looks the business. So yep, so I cleared all that, and then I got a load of other postal stuff to do, and then I'm going to order loads more stock because people keep buying it, which is of course a good thing. And it's the start of the month as well, of course, so that's always a big order day. It's the new month, so then you get extra time before you pay for all the stuff you bought. And I'm on the way home. Well, not far off home actually. And most of the snow has kind of gone away. The temperature is -1, nearly 6 o'clock. I said -1 this afternoon. I bravely went and jet washed my car. The jet washer was full of ice all around it, but it was still spraying out water, so got some of the salt off so my car didn't rot away to non-existence. And yeah, it said -1 there. There's a lot of ice about. But yeah, most of it's a bit cleaner. But yeah, most of the snow's generally melted away now. Not really forecast for any more, I don't think. Although it keeps changing. It says we're going to get some. It says just going to be cold all week. Freezing cold. Freezing cold at work this morning. Because no one goes in at the weekend, so there's no heating goes on a weekend. So it really does cool down in there. So I get back home, grab something to eat, and then I think it might be Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham on the PS Vita with my little lad. We got into that on the weekend. Finally got around to, well, actually I got it quite a few weeks ago, but not really. It'd been entertained with other things, so kept it on one side and then brought it out the weekend. We're having a good play on that. He loves his he loves Lego generally, apart from what we thought. I'll buy him loads of it, because I like it too. But yeah, he loves the Lego games, been through all of them. And Batman 3, I actually think it's better than the number 2 version. It just seems the controls are a bit easier, and yeah, you retain the suits, the different suits that the characters can have with special abilities and features. You used to have to find them and only got them when you could do one particular bit, but now old Bill. Now in the new version, you keep them. You can choose from any point to access features, so there's more use made out of that as well, which I think is better. Makes it a bit more fun. So yeah, really enjoying that. I think we'll be having another go on that before sleepy time. Right, I'm home. Well, I hope that was more interesting for you than just watching a road. Night.